Hi, everyone. This is Rico Figliolini, host of Peachtree Corners Live. Appreciate you coming out to watch this as a live stream if you're doing this, or if you're listening to this as a podcast, iHeart, Spotify, or on YouTube as a video as well. So, and of course, if you're on Facebook on our Facebook page, you may be listening to this later. But appreciate you coming out. We have a special guest today. But before we get there, I just want to introduce our sponsor, Hargrave Fiber. They're a cable fiber company in the Southeast, really big. They've been expanding even further into the Southeast area, especially in Southeast Georgia and Southern Georgia and the metropolitan area here in Atlanta. You can get their services for your business to business, to be able to use their Wi-Fi, their optics, their cable, and the support that they give to small businesses and large businesses through bundled services. So they're not the cable guy. They're right in the community. They're so involved in things going on in the towns and cities they go into that you'd be surprised. So check them out, hardwarefiber.com, and you might be able to even get 90 days worth of your internet service for free. Certainly, you'll be able to get some of their expertise. So check them out. Now, to get to our show, today's special guest, this is a follow-up to an article we had in our Vibrant Technology issue. So we had that an issue or two ago, and now today we have a special guest. I'm going to let Patrizia introduce our guest. Go for it.
Good afternoon, everyone. So nice to see you again. Dexter Caffey is joining us today from Smart Eye Technology, and he is the founder and chief disruptor, as he self-described, of this company. Hi, Dexter.
Hey, how are you, Patrizia?
I'm doing so well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me on today.
It's our pleasure. It seems like a lifetime ago when we spoke last, just a few months ago before this whole pandemic broke out.
Absolutely. Last time I think I was in Israel when you spoke to me last.
That's right. We'll have to meet in person at some point.
Exactly.
All right, Dexter. So today we're going to regale our listeners and viewers with screen privacy concerns for across all of their electronic devices. And that's because of what you came up with. And you had a brilliant idea, and I'd like you to take us through it because it actually really did happen very organically. Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell us how you started the whole idea of Smart Eye Technology?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Patrizia. So what happened, I was actually in Israel about 2.5 years ago, and I was at a cybersecurity event. And so I was sitting next to this speaker who was getting ready to speak. And he and I were just talking, just like you and I are talking right now. And what happened, I noticed when I looked at his laptop, I could see documents. I saw Word documents. I saw PDF documents. And I just said to myself, I said, why should I be able to see any document that's on this cybersecurity expert's laptop? It's none of my business. I said, what if we could create an app called Smart Eye Technology that would shut off if Patrizia or Rico looked dead at my screen? And at first, everybody thought it was the craziest thing ever. And so I actually reached out to a group of Israeli software developers, and they actually helped us create this amazing technology now that we have called Smart Eye Technology.
And here we are. It feels like we're living in an episode of The Jetsons. The future is certainly here. And learning about these technology companies in the greater Atlanta area was such a joy and so exciting for me. So, Dexter, in order to protect our screens, so Rico, if you're planning your next birthday for your wife and you want to keep it top secret, you don't want her to be a looky-loo and come behind your back and look at your screen and see what all you've been planning. Right. So, Dexter, how is it that you protect our screens, and how is it that they recognize only us?
Okay, what it is, it's actually when you open up the Smart Eye Technology app, which will be out at the end of May this year, less than 30 days from now. What happens is that when you actually open up the Smart Technology app and you upload, let's say, those secret documents that Rico is planning for this amazing event he's going to put on for everyone in the family.
No pressure, Rico.
Right.
So once that document is actually inside of the Smart Technology app, at that point, if his wife or his friends or whoever else walks in the room, that document, when it's open, only Rico's face is recognized by that document because he put his facial recognition inside the Smart Technology app. As soon as another face comes in and looks at that document, while he's looking at it, it'll shut it down immediately and block the screen and say, warning, multiple viewers.
Isn't that perfect? You get a warning message, there are multiple viewers. So your computer screen now recognizes both your iris, your irises,
Yeah,
your face with a continual camera.
recognition. Absolutely. So what happens is that right now it's facial recognition. So it recognizes just your face. So you would have to actually register your facial recognition by simply taking a picture inside the smart technology app.
Right.
And we also have voice recognition and we have
Okay.
fingerprint recognition. And so if you wanted to send, let's say Rico wanted to send you to show you that document inside of smart technology. You would download the smart technology app and then he would send it to you because you're one of his contacts. And as a result of that, then when he shares it with you, only thing you have to do is your face could be recognized, or your fingerprint, or your voice before that document opens up to you.
Okay.
Does that document need to be shared through the same app? Like I would send it from my app to her app?
Absolutely, everything stays within inside the smart technology app. So, like I say, it goes from your app to her app, her smart technology app.
So both parties involved have to be signed on with Smart Eye technology in order to be
Exactly,
send and
exactly.
receive.
Because we keep everything inside of the app for the security, for the sake of security. And
Mhm.
so, again, now when Rico sends you that, he can do two things. He can allow you to download that, or he can allow you just to have the actual document and allow you to share it with somebody if he chose. So you can download it or you can share it with somebody if you chose. However, if you download that document, if he gave you permission to download that document,
Mhm.
security's off of it. It's over. Security's off. It's gone.
Right. He
Hmm.
also has the ability to choose for how long I would have access to that document. Isn't that right?
That's a great point too. What happens, Patrizia, is that when Rico sends you that document, he can set the amount of days, like 7 days, the amount of hours, let's say 24 hours, 48
Mhm.
hours, for you to have access to those secret vacation documents that he has.
It's just perfection for those of us who value our privacy. Of course, taking it out of the personal context, this has tons of applications in the professional world where you
Ab- ab-
have to maintain privacy within your company and within whatever organization you're working for.
And you're right. One of the big problems right now that's going on is, let's just say, for example, if you sent me an invoice for, let's just say, $20,000. You say, "Hey, Dexter, here's our service for $20,000." What would happen if you sent that by email? A hacker would, let's say, is in your email, and so that hacker would then email me right back and say, "Hey, Dexter, this is Patrizia. You know that $20,000 invoice I sent you? Yeah, keep that the same, but just change our wiring banking instructions because we had a problem with our old bank. So go
Right.
ahead and make those changes today and email me when you wired the money." That was the hacker. That wasn't you that sent that. That was the hacker.
Right.
Oh,
And I know that happens a lot in the real estate realm,
This
right?
happens big in the real estate because a lot of those closing attorneys, they have the wiring instructions so that they're a target for hackers. So
mhm.
whenever a closing attorney sends those wiring instructions through emails, hackers said, "Yes, we love it. Let's go ahead and change it up and email that person. Say, listen, this is the wiring attorney. Don't use the email that just sent you first. Use the new wiring instructions because we're no longer using that old bank anymore."
Does the system allow for, let's say I want to keep my documents up on in the cloud with you. Can I continue adding to that account?
Absolutely, you can continue adding to that account. Now, remember, we're not a storage facility, so you really don't want to store things in Smart Eye. It's like really just for sending it off. Or let's say if you wanted Patrizia to sign a document, you would
Okay.
send it to her to sign a document, so she could sign with her finger inside of Smart Eye technology. She does not have to download the app and print anything out. She would just simply sign with her finger, and then you can now verify that it was Patrizia because that document only opened up to her face. She's the only person who could see that document, so you can verify now that she's the only person who signed a document. Right now, when somebody sends you a document through one of those companies that allow you to sign online, what
Right.
happens is that you can't verify that person who actually signed it. I don't know. Somebody else could sign it.
Right. I want to
Interesting.
back it up just a little bit here, because it's easy enough to understand the facial recognition and the fingerprint and even the voice. But how is it that your computer now can recognize your handwriting? I understand handwriting is also one of the ways in which you can make sure it's the person you want to receive the document and no one else.
Absolutely. We have something called print behavior. And so, what print behavior is, it analyzes exactly how you hold your physical cell phone. It analyzes how you move your hands in order to write the letters that we ask you. If we ask you to write the letters A, L, and P, then it'll analyze how you write it, physically move your hands around. It also will analyze how much pressure you put on the screen to even write those letters with, to understand, is this Patrizia or is this Rico trying to access this document?
Hmm.
Isn't that something?
That is. Can that be legally accepted also then, I'm assuming?
Well, that there is not a signature. That's just allowing you to actually access the document. So that's
Right.
like your face or your fingerprint, and also print behavior is another access point to
Okay.
let you access a document through Smart Eye.
Okay. But before you said that if I send something for a signature, can someone sign that form?
Absolutely, it's just electronic signature. Absolutely.
Okay. And send it back, and then I'd have it.
Exactly. Exactly. So you'd have that signature just like that. So it goes directly to the app. So again, you never have to worry about printing anything out, and you can verify that
Mhm.
Patrizia actually signed that document because that document only opened to just her face.
So let me ask you something, because obviously there's so many avenues here, because an iPhone has GPS, has certain accesses that you have. You verify if it's allowed? I guess through terms and agreement. Can I verify then that, number one, I have a picture of Patrizia on it? Can that be part of that evidence, if you will?
That that's a
In there?
great point. Very good point, Rico. Because what you just said, your profile picture is
Yes.
your facial recognition picture. So in our version one that's coming out in about 30 days, your profile picture will be your facial recognition picture. So you can't put another face in there. Let's say of you and a friend, it's not going to work. It has to be your physical face.
Okay. And what about GPS location?
Well, that's
Can
great.
that-
We actually have inside of Smart Eye where we can actually require. We could say, okay, I can set a physical location. Let's say you're located in Peachtree Corners. I can
Mhm.
say only in Peachtree Corners can Rico open up my document. If you go to the city of Atlanta, the document will not open for you.
Really?
Absolutely,
Oh, I could see so many things that could be done with that.
absolutely, absolutely.
Actually, fun things I can be that the travel industry would love to have. For example, I'm going to Atlanta. Well, let me send you this document. You're not going to be able to open this up until you get to Atlanta, and then you'll know where you're going to be.
Exactly. So
I
then you
mean,
can see
Right.
exactly when they open it up. So every time that they touch that document to open it up, you'll see exactly that they open it up in Atlanta.
mhm.
You'll be able to see. You can actually even specify which Wi-Fi a person is using. So let's say your home's Wi-Fi or your office's Wi-Fi. I can
Really?
specify that by getting the IP address and saying only on that Wi-Fi can you open up my document.
Wow.
If I chose, or actually it doesn't matter. You can be on any Wi-Fi. It's
Right.
my choice. It's my document.
Okay. So
So
you can add as many restrictions or leave it loose if you want.
Absolutely.
it could be as specific as you like.
Yes. So I can see bond services. I can see certain types of services wanting to use this because
Absolutely.
they have the ability to lock it down to where they want it.
Exactly, because it's that person's documents. They control. What we've done was to really put control back into the hands of individuals and privacy. So it's about control and privacy, and that's what smart technology is really all about. Even inside of our for our B2B side, if you wanted to send somebody a document, we have it to where if Patricia's company wanted to send it to your company, um, you could actually request to collaborate with Patrizia,
Mhm.
and she has to accept you or deny your organization. If she accepts your organization, you can
Right.
communicate with everybody in her organization. If she denies you, no one in your organization can send anything through Smart Eye.
Really.
So now we've created a private pond for you to be in. So you decide who you want to play in your private pond.
I love it. So,
Yeah.
Dexter, you are the brainchild behind this brilliant idea, which I know is going to be important to many people, even if they haven't heard of you yet. It will be important to them at some point.
Thank
And
you.
but every startup technology company is only as good as its research and development. So please tell us why you chose to locate your research and development center in Israel.
Okay, well, as you know, Israel is one of the most advanced cyber security locations in the world, and so I created the team that I have in Israel to give us an edge because a lot of the people that we worked with were worked in security in government when they were in Israel, as they were in the Israeli army and things like that. So we have a very specific team who we brought together to help us create smarter technology. So our research and development took us initially. Our research and development took us about 90 to 100 days actually to create, so that we could see exactly how Smart would be created. So it was very intense. When we created the actual software, as far as the process of it, there's a big, huge research paper that that they created for us to show exactly how it would work. So this was very detailed information.
So let me ask you what's your background, Dexter? Where'd you come from before Smart Eye Technology?
It's funny that you asked me that question because my background is actually financial services. So I've done what's called futures and options hedging for major companies that's in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, owning my own business. And I've done that for 20 years. And so I've always loved technology like crazy. And when I just happened to see that opportunity that came up in my mind, it was just like I wanted to avoid it because I didn't want to start another business. I didn't. And I tried to avoid the thought of smarter technology, but have you ever had something that was just nudging you day and night, and you couldn't get out your mind? You talk to
Mm-hmm.
people, and it's coming out your mouth. You go to sleep, you're thinking about it. Well, that was smarter technology to me. It was something that I just couldn't get out of my mind. It was just like, if it was like if I died, God would say, you know what you were supposed to do, but you didn't do it.
So how did you get your first initial financing to be able to do this?
That was great. I actually had an investor who was already a client of mine, and I told him about my crazy idea. And that's a very good question. I said, and I asked him. His name was Peter, and I said, Peter, I said, I need to have lunch with you because I want to talk to you about some new things I think I want to step into. And he said, okay. So we got together for lunch, and I told him exactly what I want to do as far as starting Smarter Technology. And he said, okay, so what do you want from me? And I said, I need $50,000 today. And he said, so you want me to be the first sucker? And I said, absolutely. I mean, investor. So that's how it all started from there. And we were able to raise substantially millions of dollars from investors who we work with now to bring this vision to life. And so, like I said, the app will be out at the end of May, and people will be able to download it on the App Store originally. And it'll be available for download in the Android store roughly in mid-July in the Android store.
Are you going to be looking for another round of financing at some point?
We are, but not actively seeking a large round. Right now, we still have some available, but not actively seeking a large round. We already have a proof of concept major company that does over $20 billion a year that's looking to be our first proof of concept company when we start in June. So we're off to the races already.
Wow.
Dexter, I've heard your company referred to as a team of Avengers because you're all so diverse from diverse backgrounds. Someone looking at you working together would have no clue how you all wound up together and what on earth you have in common. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about the climate of your company, Smart Eye Technology?
Absolutely. We have we're a diverse company from the very beginning. We have individuals who are different. We have several minorities within inside the organization. I think we're probably about 50 or 60% women, and they'll probably climb higher over the next couple of months as far as women is concerned. So we're very different when it comes to a technology startup. We're not the traditional startup where it's predominantly men. And so we're really taking a completely different approach to how people view the screens that they actually have. So, and the individuals that we have working with us are extremely passionate about the things that we're doing, and they come from different backgrounds. So therefore, they're able to give us different opinions, which makes an amazing group of people to be associated with because they have their own opinions because of the different backgrounds that they come from. And everybody looks at the world a different way. And so that's what's really unique about it. And it's something that I didn't realize initially, but now I see extreme value in that.
Absolutely. And I know you're located in the city of Atlanta, your company is, but you do have ties to Peachtree Corners. So why don't you tell us about how you came to be part of the Peachtree Corners community as well?
Absolutely. Smart Eye Technology is a member of the Atlanta Tech Park. And actually, the Atlanta Tech Park is one of the most special places I've had a pleasure of being in. Because actually that's where we did our first launch of our prototype May 7th of last year, showing our prototype for the very first time to the public. So Robin and Ashley at the Atlanta Tech Park have been amazing partners with us. They've helped us out in many ways that I can't even explain. And so it has a very special place in my heart, the Atlanta Tech Park.
Cool.
Great.
What? How's it been working? Obviously, are you at Atlanta Tech Park now? I'm assuming.
No, right now we're in Buckhead. Right now, as we speak, we're at a location in Buckhead. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So, how has working in this COVID-19 environment been? How?
Actually, one of the surprising things is actually this has been one of the. I've been busier than I've ever been in my life. I'm getting emails and phone calls from people who want to secure their screens for their employees because they said we're sending very delicate and very specific information, very highly sensitive information, and we're trying to figure out a way how do we gain control over those things that we're sending out. So this is why I've been talking to companies in Thailand. I've been talking to companies in Canada. I've been talking to companies here in the U.S. Companies in Portugal we're talking to. So it's been extremely busy. I mean, this has been a very busy period because people are trying to figure out how do I secure when I send Rico a document. I don't want Rico, since he's outside of our work environment, I don't want him
Mhm.
having access and doing whatever he wants with this. How do I control that? So
Yeah.
we're getting phone calls and emails that's coming in, and it's really amazing to see how many people are actually looking at this right now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That does make sense. Now that everyone's leaving their companies in droves to resort to teleworking, more and more people are at home with this secure and private information that really should be protected.
Absolutely, and that's why we're getting the phone calls that are coming in right now. And it's just I wasn't expecting this, but I'm happy.
So, as you're getting more people involved, more companies coming on board, are you obviously you're going to be looking at expanding maybe the programming and doing some additional programming engineering into the app as well
Yeah,
from
yeah.
things like.
Actually, on our first version, absolutely on our first version, Rico, we'll have the app on the App Store for the iOS version, and we'll have the web app version where you can actually use Smart Eye on your computer in the middle of July for our second version that comes out. So we'll have a lot of new features as we roll out every single month. There'll be new features that we already have planned to roll out as we go every month.
So, as far as income goes, then revenue, that's it's really based on corporate revenue. Let's say subscribers to this in a corporate environment.
Yeah, initially, but actually, we have a huge demand from the from individuals. We're going to roll this out, like I said, at the end of May. But everything that I'm hearing from individuals, people said I'd love to have this for my own personal information because I don't want people seeing certain maybe pictures
Right.
that they don't want people to see, but just the person that they're sending it to. There's documents that they don't want other people to see that they're sending it to. So initially, it'll be on a per user basis. So it'll range anywhere from as low as $9 a month up to $19.99 a month when it comes to the actual price of Smart Eye for use.
Are you going to allow like a free download and then and then an upscale or premium step up in
That's a great
subscription?
question. We're going to have actually 2 weeks free. So you'll
Okay.
be having the full engine for 2 weeks free, and like I said, we'll be anywhere between $9.99 to probably less than $15 per person for the individuals per month.
So my other question, but could be a little bit more sensitive, maybe, because apps tend to collect information, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes uh, it's not specific, right? It's anonymized. Um, are you able, or will you even think about accumulating some data as far as the types of documents going out, or and accumulate some data like that maybe over a period of time that
Well,
you can address?
yeah, well, the good thing about Smart Eye technology is that every single document that you send is
Mhm.
encrypted. So we won't be able to have access to that document because it's encrypted. When you send it to somebody else, the document is encrypted. So it's encrypted in transit. It's encrypted when it sits on in a cloud environment. So we can't even look at any document that you send, even if we wanted to. We'd have to, we'd have to break it open, which would be hard to do because it's
Okay,
encrypted. So
good to know.
absolutely.
And how would you address people who are hypersensitive about sharing their personal ID information, like their irises, their face, their fingerprints? How can you assure them that that will be kept safe and
All
secure?
of our biometrics are also encrypted as well. And one of the things that I tell people about, you're probably more at risk to invoice fraud, and I'd be probably a little bit more worried about that because, like I said, there was over $2 billion lost to that in 2019 to invoice fraud. So they're more companies are losing more money from invoice fraud than they are from other areas where when it comes to cyber attacks.
Cool. Do you have any upcoming announcements you'd like to share here, like things that you're working on?
Well, actually, yeah, we're actually, like I said, we'll be launching the app at the end of May,
Right.
and we're also, like I said, starting our first proof of concept with a major company that does over $20 billion a year. So you guys are the first to hear that. And like I said, we're also working with a potential other company in Portugal that's looking to use smarter technology for some of their things as well. So we've got a lot of companies right now who are interested in this technology because of what it does as far as protecting documents inside of your screen.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Let me ask you one other question. I mean, I think we covered quite a bit here. It's a great technology. Certainly, I think that competition is the problem, right? Do you see that being an issue in your arena, the competition that's out there, that you need to get this out fast, you need to be able to adjust as you go? Are there competitors you're worried about? I know you wouldn't be worried about being acquired by someone that that might want this, a bigger company. God knows there's Google and all these other companies acquiring things right and left. Would you welcome that at this point, even?
Well, right now, the thing that we're focusing on right now is number one, getting users using the app. That's our key focus right now, and so that's where our energies are being spent right now. As far as competition is always a good thing. You want competition because it keeps you sharp. It
Yeah.
makes you. I used to run track when I was in high school, and I love for it, and I love it. And so it's a good thing. And what we built inside of smarter technology, we built a very heavy engine. So when you want to compete, it will cost a lot of money and a lot of time. And again, most major organizations have employees at the organization, so we're not really worried about major organizations doing exactly what we're doing because you have a lot of competition when it comes to seniority and different things inside of an organization with that they want to do, things they don't want to do. But yes, you always have to be concerned about it, but never worried. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Right. So let's get users using Smart Eye technology.
That's all we're looking for.
Find
Is
it
using it
on the Android.
Yes, it'll be in mid-July. You'll be able to access it on Android, but within 30 days, you'll be able to access it at the end of May on the App Store.
On the App
Store.
Okay. And if I'm an individual, I'm looking at 2 weeks free and then about $9.99 a month.
Right, but it'll be between $9.99 a month, depending on your usage, to $14.95 a month in that range.
And how do you determine the pricing for packages, say for a personal user to a company using it?
Yeah, we actually have when you first get inside the app, we'll ask you, are you an individual user or are you a business user? So business users will pay roughly about $19.99 a month because they receive what's called a control panel, so they can add all the employees on that control panel and add employees or delete employees. They got full access to see exactly which documents those employees sent. They'll be able to see which companies that they're interacting with as well. They'll be able to see if they have a problem as far as trying to verify themselves with their biometrics, because we have something called what's called a biometric failure rate. So if we see an employee who's failed 100% of the time using all the biometrics, the employer can pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, this may not be Patrizia trying to get into this app. Is this you or is this somebody else trying to access this? So we've got things in place, so it'll give the system admin a early indication that, hey, this is not that person trying to access this data because they're failing 100% of the time to access this. This can't be that person.
Well, cool. I've been enjoying this, Dexter. I think we want to possibly get back to you at some point a few months from now.
Absolutely.
Maybe see how things are going.
That'd be great.
Cool. Good. So, Patrizia, do you have any more questions for Dexter? Otherwise, we're going to be letting him go.
I think we're good to go, Rico. Thank you so much, Dexter, for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this.
Thank you, Dexter. And thank you, everyone, for listening in. Again, this is Peachtree Corners Live with your host, Rico Figliolini, Patrizia Winsper, and CEO, disruptor, founder, Dexter Caffey from Smart Eye Technology. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good afternoon, everyone.